What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be installing the EPS carry into my P365. Stay tuned for all the details. Hey everybody, welcome back, and we're gonna go through some basic tooling and a list of materials that you will need to do this job properly. So you will always need to torque your screws when you install the Optic. So it is recommended to have some type of torque driver like this, and this is from Fix-It Sticks, and this allows you to specifically torque the bolts to the slide when you're installing the Optic. This is very important because you don't want your bolts to back out. This is part of the kit of the Fix-It Sticks, and this is the tool that you use to loosen your bolts. And I have already started taking the bolts off of my plate and getting them loose so that it's an easier process. Now I removed the slide from the grip, and I am using the newer style P365 slide, where it allows you to keep the rear sights when you remove the plate for the Optic. So that's convenient. If your Optic fails, you still have some sort of co-witnessing features in your slide. So another thing that's good to have, it's some sort of marker, color of your choice. We're going to mark the screws after we have torqued them down, just to make sure that when you fire your pistol that your bolts are not backing out, and if they are, you can just know immediately and go back and retorque them. The other thing that we're going to use is Vibratite. I'm going to use Vibratite as opposed to Loctite, and that's because the Vibratite is a better thread locker for your bolts. It will allow you to unbolt your screws in a safer way without having to strip stuff. Sometimes when you use thread locker like blue or red, when you are going to take the screws out, sometimes because it's so tight and it's pretty much locked in, you end up stripping your bolts. So we don't want that to happen. So Vibratite is the thing for the job. And lastly, we are going to use a little bit of lubricating oil. That's to put where the Optic is going to meet the slide. We want to give some type of lubrication and kind of like a treatment against corrosion. So let's go ahead and start with the process, and I'm going to show you how to install this Optic. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start removing the bolts from the plate. So let's go ahead and do that. Now you got to be very careful not to strip anything, especially on the initial step when you get it loose. We're going to lift this plate up. Make sure you don't lose the screws. I'm going to put them in here. So now we have just the plate. I am going to go ahead and apply a little bit of lubrication. And after that is done, we are ready to start installing this. I already have one of the bolts in here, but we are going to put this to the side. So for now, I am going to install this Optic without the plate. I had considered installing this with the RMS C2K plate because it just provides a little bit more support for recoil, but this is a 380. So I am going to try first with no plate and see how that goes and see how it co-witness, and then if I need it, then I'll just use the plate. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to present the Optic in here, make sure that it aligns, and then so that would be rear and front. So I think I'm gonna use it like this for now. So let's go ahead and mount it. Before we continue with the installation, I am going to remove the Optic. I am going to check that my screws actually go in there and they are the right size, and that I am not forcing anything in there. You don't want to strip these holes. Okay, so they're going in nicely without much trouble. So there you go. So yeah, they both go in. Now we're gonna remove them again, and we are ready to install. I'm gonna put the Optic back into the slide. Now we're gonna apply the thread locker, and then we're gonna go ahead and screw those in.
A few moments later.
Just make sure that they go in easily with no restriction, because otherwise you might be stripping your threads. Once you got it in there, then go to the next bolt. Nice and easy. Before I torque this, I am going to check, sure that everything looks good. And now we're ready to torque. So we are ready to start applying torque to those bolts. I am going to use the fixing sticks, but I can't use this one in here because it's too thick and it won't allow me to reach properly. So I am going to have to use an adapter here, an extension. So I'm going to apply here the adapter. That way I can reach better. I am going to remove this tip. There you go. We're going to apply it actually in here. And we are going to be torquing, applying 15 foot-pounds of torque. So the way that we are going to torque this is we have here this reference line here. Oops, we have this reference line, and then we have the torque spec. So we are going to turn this until this white line it's mating with the 15 inch-pounds, and that's how you know that you have the correct torque. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's torque the bolts, and we're going to do it to 15 inch-pounds. Put it in here, twist this, and we are going to twist until right there, 15. We're going to go to the next one. We're going to do the same. We're going to twist, 15 right there. That's it. Your bolts are now properly torqued. Let's check one more time. They look good. So all we have to do now is we are going to make some marks in here. We're going to mark this just to make sure that we can check if the threads they back out. So we are going to mark in there, and then we are going to do another mark in there. We are going to let it dry, and once we shoot this thing, we'll know if those bolts are backing out. Next step, let's just reassemble everything. Let's put it back in the pistol, see how it looks, see how it feels, and I will be going to the range to zero this optic out. And there you have it, guys. So this is installed. I just gotta go to the range and zero this thing. Feels good, looks good. Let's see how accurate it is. Well, if you like this video, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel for more content, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.